For today's movie review, I'll be reviewing Turbo Kid, a 2015 independent movie that was created through the likes of Indiegogo. And the movie since then has won the Best Picture of 2015 for the Saturn Award, which essentially is an award system that celebrates everything that is science fiction, horror, and fantasy. And when this movie first came out, there was a lot of buzz around it, but since then it has died down a bit. So, the big question is Turbo Kid any good? In terms of what Turbo Kid is about, in the post-apocalyptic future of 1997, this kid discovers this old superhero outfit, and he decides to become a superhero by trying it on, and joins forces with an android and a cowboy to combat the forces of an evil warlord and his army of goons. In terms of what I liked about the movie has really good cinematography. The costuming to all the characters, I think, are nicely designed. And I like the transition with the flashbacks. Like, my favorite flashback transition is at one point, you have the main character looking down the face of one of the villains, and he happens to have a buzzsaw as a weapon, and the camera zooms in on his buzzsaw, then zooms out, and it reveals to be of a tire wheel, which I thought was a clever way of introducing the flashback. Also, I actually like the fact that all the characters in this movie use bicycles as opposed to cars, because anytime you watch a post-apocalyptic film, the characters almost always have cars, and they're searching for gasoline. I actually find them using bicycles to be rather refreshing, because I think the characters in the context of that universe come to the conclusion that, oh, maybe because gasoline is so limited that they might as well just use bicycles. And I was actually impressed by the overall setting of this movie, because I was expecting the film to take place in front of a green screen the entire time, but no, they actually use natural locations as opposed to a green screen. In terms of what I disliked of the movie, my only nitpick so far is the fact that in certain scenes there's a lot of shaky cam. The CGI from time to time isn't really good because it doesn't look like it's fully rendered. The character of Apple, when you first meet her, she's really annoying, but as the film progresses, she becomes less annoying. And the tone is all over the place, because the film is dark in some areas, while in other areas it's a bit too colorful. Also, I had a lot of problem with the audio, because have you ever watched a movie where the characters aren't really speaking loudly, yet you hear more of the soundtrack or the sound effects as opposed to the character's dialogue? That's essentially what's going on in this movie. And there's a certain plot twist with the main villain that comes straight out of nowhere, because the main villain in question is a fucking robot. And now that I think about it, there's a few things that aren't properly explained. Case in point, why the fuck are there androids wandering about? They never explain where these androids came from or what their purpose is. And also, before the main character becomes Turbo Kid, during like the first 20 minutes, you see that the character is reading this series of comic books called Turbo Rider, and I'm under the impression that this Turbo Rider is a fictional character in this movie, but then he finds Turbo Rider's corpse and decides to take the armor, which really confuses me, because, again, I was under the impression that Turbo Rider was a fictional character. Oh, and speaking of the main character, what the hell's his actual name? Because they never reveal his name throughout the entire movie. Now, I know what you're thinking, but Clint Eastwood's character in The Good, the Bad, the Ugly never had a name. But here's the thing, with that character, he at least had a nickname and went by Blondie. As far as this kid goes, he doesn't have a nickname. For my final verdict of Turbo Kid, I thought the movie was okay. Even though it's not my favorite movie, I do see the overall appeal towards it. And I do find it impressive that a movie like this was made because of a website like Indiegogo. And if you're someone who likes Mega Man, Mad Max, or Tank Girl, this is basically the movie for you. I don't think the movie's bad, I think it's just okay. And before I give my final rating, what did everyone else have to say about Turbo Kid? Looks like the movie got average reviews, and so for my final rating of Turbo Kid, I give it 3 out of 5. So, what's your favorite post-apocalyptic movie? And see you later.